watching HCTV 22 City News, your source for news and information on issues, people, arts and entertainment, and sports in the city of Hawthorne.
In this edition of City News, find out what police officers in Hawthorne are doing to protect your community. Also, these kids are getting a lesson that could protect their entire family. We'll tell you what they learned. Plus, Hawthorne seniors cast a line for some fun. These stories and much more coming up on City News. Hello and welcome to City News. I'm Cindy San Luis. Ever wonder what our police do day to day? Where do they go? And how they deal with crime in our community? HCTV reporter Karen Matsumoto takes us on a police ride-along to see what these Hawthorne crime fighters are doing to protect your city.
It's just another day for Hawthorne police officer Ian Elliott.
I love it. I love working here.
With his trusty scanner and personal patrol car computer, this officer's ready to roll. First on the agenda,
Respond to radio calls. That's our first priority.
patrol units like Elliott roam the streets of Hawthorne looking for any unusual activity.
Just keep your feet out front of you, cross your ankles for me.
Elliott's first suspect, a driver without license plates on his car. After a few quick questions
Do you have any paperwork for the car in here?
and a quick car search, Elliott lets him off with a warning to fix his car. Next on the agenda, drugs. Sometimes officers are required to pick up suspicious drug packages like this one, found at a local FedEx. After the packages are picked up, they're brought back to the police station for investigation.
Oh boy.
Elliott's suspicious driver and drug package are just the beginning of his long 12-hour shift. At night, an angry resident calls to complain about someone bothering his dogs. The suspect is detained at the site
Do you understand? Say yes.
and arrested. Elliott says nights like this one are considered to be fairly quiet, but he loves helping the community and enjoys the variety of his assignments.
That's it.
Reporting for HCTV, I'm Karen Matsumoto.
Summer is here and the hot weather is causing some alarm. Reporter Bobeth Yates explains what has residents on edge.
It's that time of the year again, summer. And with the warm weather comes an increase in the cases of the infamous West Nile virus. The disease can be transmitted to birds, animals, or humans when bit by an infected mosquito. Recently, at the Hawthorne Public Library, some local kids got a lesson on how to protect themselves.
I learned that mosquitoes can be dangerous.
Vector control specialist Heather Teodora says if caught, the illness can cause serious problems.
About 1 in 5 infected persons may develop a flu-like illness called West Nile fever. The duration of this illness may last several days to a few weeks.
Symptoms for West Nile fever are headaches, body aches, rashes, and a high temperature. But for a small group, it can be much worse.
1% of the infected population, people may develop a more severe illness called a neuroinvasive disease. And this can lead to infection of the central nervous system and can cause encephalitis, meningitis, and on rare occasions, death.
One thing residents can do to keep their area clear of mosquitoes is add in mosquito fish to any pond or standing water in their backyard.
If you were to jump out,
Mosquitoes can grow in any stagnant water, from puddles to water left in tires or old containers. Vector control specialists say if you can't put mosquito fish in that water, you should throw it down a drain. The last course of protection is to stay away from mosquitoes altogether.
mosquitoes are most actively feeding during dawn and dusk, so it's recommended that they go indoors during these times.
At the time of this report, there were no cases of West Nile virus in Hawthorne, but there are 8 cases in the state. For HCTV, I'm Bobeth Yates.
To report a mosquito problem in your area, call Vector Control at 310-915-7370. Larry Guidi's first annual car show filled the Memorial Center parking lot. Participants braved the heat, raised money, and helped kids while having a good time. Hot rods old and new were on display to initiate a new event that featured singing, awards, bouncing cars, and perhaps the answer to LA's car chase problem. Event planners, including Mayor Guidi and a youth charity, Teen Challenge, targeted our future.
These automotives, these vehicles, I don't know if you know or not, they attract attention. You know, and if you notice, there's a lot of youth around here. And you know what? They're our future. And if we can touch them, we can touch anybody.
I teamed up with Teen Challenge, Pastor Phil, and he wanted to do something to raise money for the kids. And I said, let's do a car show.
Be sure to check HCTV's programming schedule to really look under the hood, as we will have a more extended look inside the car show in the coming weeks. Behavioral Health Services runs 11 alcohol and drug treatment centers in Los Angeles. A Hawthorne location, Pacifica House, opened a resale shop called Threads and Things to help those who help themselves.
Recovering addicts and Hawthorne city leaders opened a store.
We're honored that they chose Hawthorne to open up this great thrift shop that would help the community, but not only help the community, but also help the services they provide.
Money raised from the sale of Threads
is a way to raise money to support drug and alcohol treatment.
BHS runs Pacifica House in Hawthorne that provides drug treatment, education, and sober living. Help could be for someone you know.
People who have children, God forbid that someday your child has a problem.
The addiction doesn't have any boundaries. I mean, it hits young, old, mother, father, brother, sister.
Another family of sorts, city leaders and treatment center workers joined up to help those who may be hanging on by just a thread.
Helping others to help themselves, giving somebody a chance to regain what they've lost or to have what they never had.
Now that's cool. In Hawthorne, Alex Schreck, HCTV.
Pacifica House and Threads and Things are located at 2501 West El Segundo Boulevard. You can contact them at 323-754-2816. Coming up next on City News, find out how a local group of seniors keep themselves in stitches. Also, a Hawthorne company is ready to help combat the war on terror.
What would you do if you had to choose between the buffalo and the giraffes? Between a flower or an elephant? What would you choose? What if you had to decide between a 100-year-old tree and a 1,000,000-year-old beach? Between drinking clean water or breathing clean air? Would you make the right choice? Would there be a right choice? Now there's a way to help. Not just one, but all these things. EarthShare, the world's leading environmental groups working together. It's one choice we can all live with. Ask your employer about workplace giving.
Tom, where are you going? Man, we got a ball game here. Pardon me.
Pitcher got a rubber arm. It's has. Huh? Pitcher has a rubber arm.
If education is important to you, talk to your child's school about raising academic standards. Call 1-800-38-BE-SMART for a free booklet and be a big league parent.
Give me a heading, Bill.
On January 8th, Amy Narvajo was saved from freezing to death by the National Guard. Were it not for their employers giving them the time to answer the call, this story might have had a different ending. To every employer who supports the Guard and Reserve, thanks for making us your business.
Welcome back. Some of Hawthorne's seniors spent today baiting and casting with hopes of catching the big one. Reporter Michelle Tucker went fishing for the story.
Haven't caught a thing, not even a nibble.
It was still early, and while some Hawthorne seniors weren't off to a great start, some were already reeling them in.
Well, I'm using marshmallows and made worms. It's no secret. It's just what you use on there.
The event was the Fishing Derby held in the city of Paramount, and now for the second year it has attracted Hawthorne senior citizens.
Oh, I know it's kind of fun, and I thought I'd bring my own equipment so I had a better chance of catching the fish.
A total of 22 Hawthorne seniors came out to wet their hooks and see what's biting.
Everybody back home says, catch a big one.
Chances were good that everyone was going to leave with at least one of the 500 fish stocked into the pond.
It's taken me 25 years to catch him.
There was a catch limit of 5 fish per person, and prizes were awarded for the longest, heaviest, and for the first to catch their limit.
I got the prize for the smallest one.
Today's derby wasn't a part of a catch and release program. Lucky anglers were already thinking how to prepare their catch of the day.
Catching them. Catching them, then take them home and clean them. Then put them in the pan and fry them.
Whether they were down on their luck or caught their limit early, these seniors will be back next year to catch the one that got away. Michelle Tucker, HCTV.
Members of the Friendship Sewing Club stay close-knit. HCTV's Charity Bailey has the details.
Welcome to the Friendship Sewing Club, where the senior citizens of Hawthorne have found a way to enjoy their hobby while spreading a little love in this community. The club meets every Monday and has been in existence for over 20 years. The ladies say that while the senior center has a lot to offer, there's something special about this club.
Well, this is the first one that I started with, and I was very happy, so I don't like to miss a Monday. I don't do any planning on Monday because I come here to be with the ladies.
The ladies range in skill level and technique, but one thing is for sure, there's no amateurs here. Meet club president Miss Rose. She began sewing at age 7 and says that sewing is a part of her family tradition. She learned most of what she knows today from her late aunt.
She was such a fast sewer that you just saw the gleam of the needle. But when you looked at the stitches, it couldn't have been done any better by the sewing machine.
Every member here has memories similar to that, and they come here to laugh and share past experiences and future ideas.
Oh, it's fun. It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
These ladies have formed a bond and work together as a family. They spend countless hours to create pillows, lap shawls, knee blankets, and beautiful quilts. Making a quilt is not an easy process. It actually takes about 3 hours, and the ladies take swatches of cloth like this and turn it into a beautiful quilt like this. All of the ladies add something different to the process. Some cut fabric, others stitch, sew, and crochet. But one thing is for sure, everybody is involved in sharing the finished product with others. For HCTV, I'm Charity Bailey.
If you would like to donate fabric to the Friendship Sewing Club, call the Senior Center at 310-970-7254. The massive campaign against smoking may be paying off. A recent study reveals a decline in the number of smokers in the state of California. The number of smokers has dropped from 16.3% to 15.4%. The number of Californians who smoke is also lower than the national average of 22.8%. The decrease can be attributed to the state's anti-smoking campaigns, as well as information given by the tobacco industry themselves. Since 1995, both groups have spent millions to educate the public on the risk of smoking. According to the Centers for Disease Control, cigarette smoking can cause lung cancer, the nation's leading cause of death. Abacus, a local security company, contracts with businesses and individuals to keep them safe from crimes such as burglary and vandalism. In a post-9/11 society, they are finding ways to locally combat terrorism as well.
When terrorists bombed the London Underground, U.S. Homeland Security raised the threat level to orange, which indicates a high risk of attack. New state law requires Hawthorne security guards to complete 8 hours of training each year to keep their licenses.
He said, well, yeah, it's mandatory now that we do this.
Stephen Donaldson does the training here. He has worn many hats during his career: Navy pilot, Vietnam veteran, decorated police detective, and now CEO of Abacus, a security company. Donaldson realized that his street patrol days were over after he was beat into a coma while on duty. He became a detective, and he taught his first anti-terrorism class years before September 11th. He continues to teach anti-terrorism classes. He said that we are still at ground zero.
What has affected the business is 911. We're still running on the heels of what I call the big one. As a security company, we always try to be prepared.
Classes like weapons of mass destruction and report writing are intended to prepare security guards to deal with and hopefully prevent catastrophic events. He also said we're still vulnerable.
Is this country prepared? I don't think so.
Students apply classroom knowledge with old-fashioned security work.
It's just basically surveillance and watching what you're doing.
Donaldson said that security guards' primary roles include communicating with local police, surveillance, and observation, especially on important dates.
Terrorists often choose a date of national significance, such as Independence Day. Now they need access to a target site.
When security guards roll up on a problem at a local business, they've got the tools to handle it. They're licensed to use handguns, safety batons, and mace. Reporting in Hawthorne, I'm Alex Schreck for HCTV.
For questions about Abacus Security, contact Stephen Donaldson or Patricia Feldman Donaldson at 310-342-7676. When we return, we'll show you which organization rolled its way to Hawthorne for a special competition.
Over 2 million acres of our wildlands burn each year, and hundreds of homes are lost as a result.
At least 50 homes were burned to the ground. Dozens more were damaged as fires raced through dense brush and steep canyons.
Flames don't know the difference between forest, rangelands, and homes. Learn how you can fireproof your home. For more information, contact your local fire protection agency, state forestry office, or the USDA Forest Service.
Someone once said, we all come into this world alone, and we leave the same way. But in between, we have the chance to connect and help each other, to find ways you can do something to connect with the people in your community. Call La Points of Light Foundation. Do something good. Feel something real.
On the big highway of life, there's only one safe place for kids.
Backseat, baby.
The front seat's not the place to drop out. Don't want that big old bag to pop out.
Backseat, baby.
Put that booties in the backseat now.
Backseat, baby.
Have that kids you never meet. I'm here to remind you to put them behind you.
Backseat, baby.
Wow, look at here.
Backseat, baby.
To stay alive even when I drive.
Must I, Amanda, take this guy to have and to hold, to go out with and make out with, to be together and sleep together, to go all the way, because they say he'll walk away, unless I do.
If you don't talk with your kids about sex, who will? Our free booklet can help.
You're watching Hawthorne Community Television, Channel 22, quality programming for the city of Hawthorne.
A group of girls' spirits may be just as high as hot August temperatures. HCTV reporter Charity Bailey takes us to the Betty Ainsworth Sports Center, where several girls are shaping up, making friends, and having a blast this summer.
School is out and summer vacation is in full swing, but these girls haven't skipped a beat. The pint-sized cheerleaders will spend the next 6 weeks learning cheers and getting plenty of exercise. The class meets every Tuesday from 11 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. and is taught by qualified cheerleaders from Pint-Sized Fitness and Sports. The morning begins with a light warm-up and ends with a group activity and sticker time. But the objective of the program is not all about fun.
I think it opens up an opportunity for the children to be involved in an activity at a young age.
The girls are ages 3 to 7 and are getting a head start on building their self-confidence, discipline, and teamwork skills.
Teamwork builds on their social aspect of their growing up. It lets them trust other kids at an early age instead of waiting till kindergarten to learn how to pay attention.
In addition to all of the cheerleading skills they learn and character traits that are being built, the girls also gain knowledge on the benefits of exercise and healthy living. For HCTV, I'm Charity Bailey.
Pint-Sized Fitness and Sports offers other classes including soccer, karate, and basketball. For a full list of classes, visit their website at www.pintsizesports.com. Die-hard skateboarding fans came out to Hawthorne's Larry Guidi Skate Park for a competition hosted by the California Amateur Skateboard League. HCTV reporter Karen Matsumoto reports.
With tiny jumps and daring tricks, these skateboarders stole the spotlight at the California Amateur Skateboard League's monthly skate competition.
We started this 25 years ago. It's analogous to AYSO or Little League. It's the Grassroots Association for Skateboarding. And we do it all over the state of California and sometimes in other states also.
This is the first time the league has held a